following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors. I'll be your host. This show is going to be covering all four major sports: the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and my personal favorite, the NHL. The Ring Pod is going to be having guests and coverage of professional boxing, mixed martial arts, and the world of professional wrestling. This is being taped on September 17th, which is a week after the Patriots opened their season and raised their fourth Super Bowl banner by beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-21. We'll get more into the Patriots down the line. One other thing about the major sports is the Boston Red Sox with a disappointing season, very much. But Big Papi hit his 500th home run the other night off of Matt Moore. Very exciting. Today, my guest is Pat Dillon, the owner of UFO Wrestling out of South Boston and the chairman of the board of the Belltime Club. Pat, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure, Leo. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. A little bit about the Belltime Club. Tell us about it.
Belltime Club, we're located in Wakefield, Massachusetts, and we train professional wrestlers. Head trainer up there is Bo Douglas, who is trained by the late, great Walter Killer Kowalski. He's been wrestling for almost 20 years, and it's just pretty much a laid-back environment where we just go in, hang out, and teach kids to learn professional wrestling.
So any of the independent guys can come down to the Bell Club. You join up, you sign a membership, get a membership. Is that how it works?
Absolutely. You come down, visit us, sit through a class, see if you enjoy it.
Right.
And next thing you know, you sign up and you got a place to train.
That's excellent. I've known Bo for quite a while. He's a great guy, really good wrestler.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. That's why I'm in business with him.
Right. Now, a little bit about your promotion, the UFO. Right now, who's your champion?
Right now, my champion is Brian Malonis, the Kingpin.
Oh, yes.
And he's been my champion for a few years now. I haven't found anybody to defeat him.
Right. Is his brother Jimmy working for you too?
Jimmy has done some work, but Jimmy's hurt right now.
Is he? Okay.
And he's going to be out of action for quite some time.
Right. Now you have a tag team champs?
I do have a tag team champs, and it's Mr. Wrestling 9 and 12.
Nice. So they must be masked guys.
Masked, yes.
Nice.
We're going old school,
right.
The old Mr. Wrestling. They've held the titles since April.
Nice.
And they've defended them once, and they're soon to defend them in October.
Nice. Now, how long has the promotion been going on?
UFO Wrestling's been in existence since August of 2008.
Nice. That's quite a while.
Yes.
Great.
Mainly all our shows are based out of Boston. And we've traveled a few, did a couple shows at Malden, Tewksbury.
I was going to bring up that Tewksbury. Now, you do some charity work for the Tewksbury.
Absolutely.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. A good friend of mine contacted me a few years back, and she does host a charity event for Boston Children's Hospital.
Nice.
And I asked her, what do you do for children? What do you do for the kids? She said, haven't thought of it. I said, well, let's put on a wrestling show.
Nice.
And then now here we are 4 years in to that meeting with her, and every year we do a nice fundraiser at the Tewksbury Country Club to raise money for Children's Hospital.
Nice. I've seen my good friend of mine, Bob McCarthy, has come down and did some taping and stuff for you guys, right?
Yes, Bob McCarthy's always around.
Yeah, great guy.
And doing good for everybody.
Yeah, he does. He does a lot of good work. I love Bob. He's been a friend of mine for a long time.
Yeah.
So now, can you tell us about some of the big name guys you might have had wrestle for you?
Wow, where to start?
'Cause I know I've seen a few guys that you have had. So.
Yeah, we've brought in Tony Atlas, nice. Mr. USA, nice WWE legend.
Yes.
We've used him on a couple shows, and I've also been at a few events with him, a few conventions as a guest.
Right.
We've also had Devon Dudley, who just recently got back into the WWE.
Yeah, that's great. We can talk about that in a few minutes. Yes.
We've also had Robbie E. from TNA.
Yep, I know Robbie.
Robbie come in. Kaz and Daniels.
Nice. Great guys.
Surprised our fans.
Right.
We didn't advertise it.
Really?
We just brought them
Wow.
in. They were in town, and we made connection. And next thing you know, they're at the event.
That's one of the best tag teams in the world right now.
Absolutely.
And both outstanding guys.
Yes.
I actually got to meet them at the Pro Wrestling Marathon thing there,
yes.
where I met you there that day.
Yep.
And also, they worked for Tommy Dreamer, the 2 catering jobs I did for the House of Hardcore.
Yes.
Great guys. Great workers.
And I remember Kazarian from back in '98 when I was training with Bo Douglas
Right.
at Killer Kowalski's. He had made his way through for a little while.
From California.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I've known him a long time as well. And then, it just brings top talent. Matt Taven from Ring of Honor.
Yep, I know Matt also.
He's a mainstay on my roster from time to time when he's not traveling.
Right.
Tommaso Ciampa,
Another great guy.
just signed with WWE again.
Actually just went overseas today. I read it
Yes.
today. He went overseas. He's doing Scotland, England.
32-day tour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very exciting for him.
Absolutely.
Great worker, too.
Yes.
Great work.
Absolutely. So we've had some of the top talent in the area and a
Right.
few stars from, worldwide,
Yeah.
So we're doing all right.
That's fantastic. Why don't we talk about your next upcoming show?
My next show is going to be October 11th. It's a Sunday.
Okay.
It's going to be a free show, an outdoor show
Okay.
at Beantown Athletics. It's a sporting goods store in Dorchester, Mass. It's right off exit 11 on Route 93, Granite Ave.
Okay. Yeah.
You can't miss it. It's a big blue building with a pink roof.
All right. Yeah.
And we're expected around 6 to 6:30 showtime. We can't guarantee an
Right.
exact time because there's a festival going on during the day.
Okay.
So, but that would be the next show there. And then beyond that, we're going back to South Boston, my hometown,
Right.
in a place you lived.
I loved living there. I miss it
Yes.
so much.
And that would be our Thanksgiving Eve show, Harvest Havoc, which features our yearly battle royal called the Turkey Rumble.
Okay.
And every year, something crazy happens during the battle royal, and a winner is crowned with a big trophy with a turkey on it.
That's great.
And then we follow it up 2 days later in Malden at the Irish American Club
Okay.
with our Black Friday show, which, again, our champions, Brian Malonis is scheduled to appear. Our tag team champions, Mr. Wrestle 9 and 12.
Yeah.
One of my favorites in this area, the Mass Hole Mike McCarthy.
Yes.
He's actually going to be taking on Brian Malonis on one of those nights.
He's really come a long way. Mike's
Absolutely.
a great worker. I love watching him wrestle.
He just captured the NECW heavyweight
Yeah,
title
yeah.
recently.
Beating a future guest of mine, Slick Wagner Brown,
Yes,
the Underground
yes,
King, which
absolutely.
I'm very looking forward to having him on the show. I've known Slick for about 15 years now, and he's always been just a great guy.
Another guy who's been on a few of my shows as well, Slick. No, definitely, and but that's it for the end of the year for us.
Okay.
And then we're going to take some time off, regroup for the holidays,
Right.
and then start fresh in the new year.
Nice. That's great. So anybody, you got to check out these shows. Check out UFO Wrestling out of South Boston. It's going to be a heck of a time. Let's get into the WWE a little bit. There's a lot of controversy, let's say, with the Divas.
Oh, it's out of control.
You know, that the revolution they're
Yes,
calling it.
yes.
I was very excited a few weeks ago when they brought up Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch.
Oh.
I was very excited about that, especially with Sasha, who has her roots here in the New England area from Massachusetts.
She's been on a number of my shows as well.
She's a great worker.
And
The boss.
yes, the boss. I agree with the way they're going with the women's division. It's taken precedent over the men's division right now.
Yes.
I mean, it's just they want to see the girls, and it's just you get Ric Flair's daughter there, Charlotte.
Woo!
And, yes, and what you call the figure eight? Or
Yeah, the figure eight,
Figure
yeah,
eight.
yeah.
It's just and you get Tamia Superfly's daughter.
Yes.
And then Becky Lynch and. You still get the Bellas getting involved now.
Right,
and-
with Alicia Fox,
Alicia
which is a
Fox.
nice little mixed in with them, I think. So I
Exactly.
think she was perfect to put in that position.
Yes.
I really do. What about What do you think about Naomi?
Ooh. They don't. It seems like they don't know what they want to do with her.
I was going to say, some nights, some weeks she looks really strong.
Yeah.
Other weeks she looks lost.
Just
She
don't
looks
know.
lost sometimes out there, you know?
Yeah.
But I like how they're pushing Sasha. To me, that's just
Oh, yeah,
fantastic. You know what I
that
mean?
hits home,
She
you know?
definitely earned it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
But going into the tag team division, you know, it seems to me like they're trying to start to build it up. For a while, Vince McMahon wasn't too happy with the tag teams, you know.
Not at all.
But I haven't really been a big fan of the New Day, but they're starting to grow on me a little bit.
Well, because Sasha Banks is tagging along with them now.
Right.
So that's why.
Yeah.
And plus Kofi Kingston, he's another
Local
local
kid.
product.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Probably the fastest kid I think I've ever seen make it from independence to the WWE. I mean, less than 2 years he made it.
Yes.
It was pretty incredible.
yes, absolutely.
And sometimes I think they dropped the ball with him a few times. I remember when he had that feud with Randy Orton. And he
Yes.
put the paint all over the car.
Oh, yeah.
And then like the next week at the pay-per-view, he dropped that leg from like the I don't know, was it up the railings or something onto
it
the
was-
floor?
Yeah.
And then the next week he wasn't even on TV.
Yep.
Sometimes you just wonder what's going on
Yeah,
there.
it-
But the New Day is
That's-
growing on me.
yeah.
And I like the primetime players.
Oh yeah, definitely.
know?
They're out there doing their thing and making everybody's lives miserable.
Right,
You
exactly.
know.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I hate right now. I mean, I'm a fan of the Usos, but
Yeah.
they're on the back burner right
Now,
now.
it's Jimmy that's hurt or is it Jay?
I think it's Jay.
It's Jay, yeah. Jay's out now. They
hurt.
say he's still going to be out for quite a while
yeah.
still, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too bad. They had some really good momentum going
Oh,
for
absolutely,
him, too, you
yeah.
know? And you haven't seen Jimmy too much on TV,
No,
which is
not
a
at all.
shame
Yeah.
because I think eventually when Jay's coming back, you'll start to see Jimmy come
Yes.
on, maybe a couple beatdowns from people to get them
Exactly.
back into a
That's
feud
right.
somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Seth Rollins. A lot of people say he's the new young, they remind him of Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
He definitely reminds me of Shawn. I think he's a great worker. When I used to cater for Ring of Honor, he came in the last show that
Yeah.
I catered. Very respectful young kid.
Oh yeah,
back then,
absolutely.
and he can work.
Oh, he can. He's absolutely talented. Unbelievable talent.
I love how he plays the chicken heel.
Oh yeah, of course.
He plays that so good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen someone play it that good in a while, actually.
No, he does it well. Absolutely. And his talent speaks for itself.
Right.
So the push that he gets is well deserving.
Definitely.
Well
definitely.
deserving.
It's a shame with Daniel Bryan's injury because that would have been a heck of a feud between those two, Seth and Daniel.
There's
Daniel
no doubt
Bryan,
about it. No doubt about it.
Speaking of the Seth Rollins and stuff, how he came up with the Shield.
Yes.
Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. It looked like when the Shield broke up that it was going to be Roman that they were going to push to the moon, but the fans didn't buy it. They didn't buy it.
Well, they gave him a little run.
Right.
They gave him a little run, but then he got hurt.
Right.
And then that could have been their way to just let him slide off to the side.
Right.
And then, give that push to Rollins.
Yeah. And then now Dean's getting a heck of a push, too.
Yeah.
A lot of people say he reminds him of Roddy Piper and Brian Pillman.
Yes.
And I agree with that 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Dean's a great worker.
Yes.
I met him once. Very nice guy. He's kind of quiet towards people that aren't in the business. I can understand that,
Yes.
but he was very nice. Now, I want to talk a little bit about NXT.
Okay. That's, it's, you can't touch it right now. It's hot.
Very hot.
The talent is there.
Yes.
And they're traveling with it.
Yeah. I like that. Because now remember the last pay-per-view that was in Brooklyn, they ran an NXT show on the Saturday.
Yes.
And then they ran the pay-per-view on Sunday, and then Monday Night Raw, all in the same building.
Yes.
Sold out all three
Exactly.
shows. Which surprised them, I think, at the beginning that NXT would actually sell out like that.
Of course.
They have such great workers, and they're constantly bringing in new guys.
Yes, all the time.
Now with the young guys that have come up to the main roster in the WWE, they just brought in, we talked about it earlier off the air,
Exactly.
Tommaso Ciampa
Tommaso.
and Johnny
Johnny
Gargano.
Yeah.
Their first match where they beat, Tyler Breeze and Bull Dempsey.
Yes.
That was a heck of a match. I was kind of surprised that they were put over. I was
Yeah.
very happy that they were.
Exactly.
But then they had the match last night. and
Yeah,
they lost to Baron Corbin and Rhino, which
yes,
is
yeah.
be hard to beat a team like that,
Oh,
anyways.
of course, you know.
You know, but we know Tommaso, like we were talking about a few minutes ago, is going on that tour, so that's probably one of the reasons why.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That
exactly.
they put the other guys over.
Yeah.
You know, the women's part division of NXT lost those three great, like we were talking about earlier, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
But it seems like they may not lose a beat because I
No.
mean, I'm sorry, Bailey.
Bailey
Is
yes.
really stepped up.
Yes,
Her
absolutely.
match against Sasha Banks at the last takeover was unbelievable.
I know.
I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and every one of these wrestling guys were putting them over. Like Austin put them over.
Oh, yeah,
Jericho put them over. They were like so amazed at the match that they put on, and they went a good 20-something minutes.
Yeah.
And they had the fans in the palm of their
That's
hand.
it. That's what you're supposed to do.
You know.
That's what you have them on the edge of their seats.
Right. Now, they seem to be pushing Baron Corbin, who's a real big guy.
Yeah.
Now, do you know much about Baron at all? Because I could have swore I read somewhere that he was an athlete somewhere. But he called the WWE to get the job. Now, they're doing a little feud with him and Samoa Joe, who I've met Joe many times.
he's a
great
great
guy.
guy.
And I loved how in the promos, Baron says, well, I called the WWE, and they took me right in. And Joe said, well, the difference here, Baron, is they called me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was a great promo, you know?
Yeah.
Let's get back to the WWE for a minute here. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's talk about Roddy Piper, you know, who passed away a few weeks ago.
Yes. Sad.
And probably the first heel that I ever really cheered for.
Yeah.
You know? He could do it all.
He did it from top to bottom. I mean.
Now, I heard that when he would go to the arenas, you know, to the shows, he would work with the young talent and help them out with promos and everything. He was always so welcoming to these kids, you know, which is something that a lot of guys don't give back. You know, a lot of guys do, I'm sure. But from what I've heard, a few guys, and I won't name any names, but they don't like to give back. You know what I mean? They get to the TV show, they want their time. But Roddy seemed to know that it's time to make new stars.
Of course.
And he really was the type of guy, like I heard, that would put over almost anybody.
It's and he did it right up until the end.
Right.
I saw a video with a local independent star that we're familiar with, who was cutting a promo, and Piper stepped in a few times and said, "No, this is how you do it.
Right.
This is what you should say." And I saw the video, and I was impressed with it.
Nice.
You know, it wasn't more than 2 years ago.
Right.
And so he's still doing it till the day he passed away.
Right.
He's still helping these young kids
That's great.
on, you know, what they need to do.
Right.
And I was actually impressed.
Right.
I
How can you not be, right? When someone like a legend like that wants to help out the young kids, that's just fantastic.
Yeah.
You know? Let's dive into a little bit of independent wrestling around the area. I don't know if you're familiar with Pro Wrestling Syndicate out of the Jersey,
Yes.
New York, Philadelphia
Yeah.
area. I'm a big fan of those guys. They put on some incredible shows. They got some incredible talent.
Yeah.
They just had a big show over the weekend where their champion, Dan Moff, future guest of this show.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be coming on in a few weeks. But he took on too cocky Kevin Matthews, who I'm trying to get on this show. I'm a big fan of Kevin's.
Yeah.
I have been for a long time. That kid can work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they tore the house down in Kevin's hometown of Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, nice.
Bay Ridge, actually.
Yeah.
Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, New York. And I've only seen highlights of it, and I've been dying to get down there to see a show. But, you know, work, they do a lot of shows on some Friday nights, too. And I work Monday through Fridays, third shift. It's kind of tough to get down there.
Absolutely.
But that's a company I'd love to go see. I mean, they average about at least 1,500 people.
Yeah,
if the building can hold it,
Yes.
they pack the place every time, sell right out.
Yeah,
You know, Pat Buck and Eric Plesky
Yeah.
are the owners, and they're doing a great job with those guys. They're
yeah.
actually on TV in the New York area.
Yeah, and you see a long night of wrestling of all good stuff.
Right.
You know, you might sit there for 3-4 hours on their shows.
Yeah, and they bring a lot of big names
They
there.
bring talent in.
You know?
Exactly.
I mean, some of the guys I've noticed that they've actually brought. Bret Hart's been there many times. You know, obviously not to wrestle, But to do the
Just
meet
the
and greet and
appearance,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
absolutely.
But Dan Mopp is a guy I've been very impressed with since 2002 when I used to cater the Ring of Honor shows,
Yes.
which I did from 2002 to 2004, all the Massachusetts shows for Rob. And Dan was with the Prophecy.
Yeah.
With Christopher Daniels, who we talked about
yeah,
earlier,
that's right.
and B.J. Whitmer, who's actually still in Ring of Honor
Yes, still doing his
13
thing.
years later.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
BJ's a very impressive wrestler,
Yeah.
good-sized guy. But Dan's always been impressive. He was part of the hit squad with Monster Mac. And they were a really, really great team.
Yeah.
They really came up through Jersey All-Pro.
Yes.
Along with guys like Homicide
Yeah.
and Low Key.
Yep.
And I mean, these guys I've known and watched for a long time now, and I've gotten to know them.
Yeah.
Great guys. Hopefully I can get on. I'd love to get Homicide on the show.
That would be nice.
We'll see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to talk to him. But House of Hardcore,
Yes.
Tommy Dreamer's
Dreamer.
promotion. I love it. I actually catered his debut show. I went down and I catered for the sixth show down in Philly.
Yeah.
And he has got some talent working for him. He's got the Young Bucks. You know what I mean? He's got Devon Dudley worked the first show.
Yes.
And Bubba and Devon worked the last show that they just did. But I mean, he's got some really, really good talent. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Kingdoms worked for him, which is another
Yep.
great tag team from around
Exactly,
here.
yep.
Mike Bennett,
Good
and
man.
again, like someone else we talked about, Matt Taven.
Yeah.
What about those guys? What do you think about those guys?
I'm a fan. I'm not familiar personally with Mike Bennett, even though is a local guy.
Right.
But like we talked about, Matt Taven has,
He has that it factor.
been
I
in my locker
think
room many
Bennett does
times.
too.
Yeah.
I think Mike does too. He's got the size, the look.
Yeah.
He's got the wife.
And Maria.
Can't deny that. He's got the
Absolutely.
wife.
The first woman of ROH.
Yes.
You can't go wrong. I mean,
Former WWE diva.
yeah, and they just held the tag titles over in Japan.
Yeah.
Grand Prix.
Right.
They're just doing their thing right now, and they're on top of the world, basically.
Yeah, there's
right
a
now.
lot of local guys right now that are making it big.
Yes.
There really are. I mean, look at Bobby Fish isn't completely local, but he did a lot of wrestling in this area when
Absolutely,
he
yeah.
first started. He's
Yeah.
out of New York.
Yes.
In his tag team with Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. Seen him many shows.
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon. Yes.
Ring of Honor's got some great tag teams. Now, I really want to talk about these guys. Speaking of Ring of Honor tag teams.
I know where you're going.
War Machine.
War Machine.
Warbeard
Yes.
Hansen and Raymond Rowe. The most impressive tag team in my eyes right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
In
They're over in Japan.
touring right now.
Yeah, right now in professional wrestling
Yeah.
Noah.
Exactly.
I'd love to get Todd on the show. I talked to him a while about it. I haven't talked to him about
Yeah.
it since, we've gotten closer now that we've started the show.
Exactly.
But he's definitely somebody I want to have on the show.
Oh,
I'd love
I'm
to have
sure.
him in studio, and
Yeah.
then when we get the Skype going, I'd love to have
Oh, yeah.
Raymond Rowe come on the Skype and have them both on at
That
the
would
same
be,
time.
That would be good.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, especially both of them have great stories to
Yes,
tell.
absolutely.
Todd Warbeard Hansen has had so many injuries, and so many times he could have given up,
Yep.
but he hasn't.
No.
He's
not at all.
kept working
Pushing,
and working, and
pushing.
look at him now.
Yeah.
You have no idea how happy I am. I'm sure you are too.
Oh, yeah,
to see him
exactly,
get
yeah.
to this point right now.
Yeah.
And Raymond Rowe with that motorcycle accident that could have
Yes.
ended his career.
Exactly, yeah.
And he's come back strong. And it's funny how they became a team.
Yeah.
In the 2014 Ring of Honor Top Prospects Tournament, they met in the finals,
Yeah.
which, the local boy won, Todd.
Yeah.
But now they became a tag team,
Yeah.
and they really are one of the hottest tag teams in all of wrestling
Yeah.
right now.
The images, the two of them just meshed.
Yeah.
And then, Ring of Honor, oh, wow, look at this. Boom, there you go. There's
Big guys,
next
too.
big tag team.
Big
yeah.
guys. My grandson, Isaiah, loves them. He's like, he just loves them. He thinks they're the best tag team in the world. He says they're the best tag team in the world. I have had pictures with him with Todd.
Yes.
And every time, I see them on TV, he goes, "That's my friend." And I laugh. I'm like,
That's
"Yeah,
awesome.
that's your friend, buddy."
Yeah.
But so now with the tag teams in Ring of Honor, there's just so many. Kazarian and Daniels.
Yeah.
They actually just put together Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly for a match.
Yeah.
Future shock. I was shocked. No pun intended.
Yes.
I was shocked that they put them back together, considering that Red Dragon's still a team.
Yeah, that was, I just recently saw that. When Daniels and they come down to the ring and then they all, went at it together.
Yeah.
And then,
Kind of shocked me.
Man, that's-
They must be going somewhere with it. They must be. You know what I mean? Maybe down the line. Who knows? I know Bobby Fish got a title shot against Jay Lethal soon, who's Started at the bottom of Ring of Honor when I first started catering there in 2002. Now he's the world champion and the television champion. Jay's a great worker. Great guy, too, but he can be mean, though. He's a heel.
Does an unbelievable Ric Flair.
Oh, yeah, he does. And Macho Man.
Yes,
Remember when he did the Macho Man gimmick in TNA?
Exactly, yeah.
That was fantastic. But, yeah, I've really enjoyed watching Jay wrestle over the years and evolve. He's just been incredible.
Yeah.
You know?
Talents.
You don't see that often enough. A lot of times you'll see someone start in the WWE bottom, then they leave, go somewhere else. They come back, and then they move on top. You hardly ever see a guy stay with the company and go from the bottom to the top. And he's worked his butt off for that.
Oh, yeah. Put in the work, and that's
One of the best wrestlers in the world right now. I'd put him in the ring as anybody.
With anybody.
Anybody. He's definitely one of the best. I'd like to... Why don't we give you some plugs for you on social media? Have you got anything going on social media?
If you just search UFO Wrestling on Facebook, Bell Time Club on Facebook, Twitter, UFO Wrestling, Instagram, UFO Wrestling, Snapchat, UFO_wrestling. You can find us anywhere. Google it, and we'll pop up everywhere, along with the Bell Time Club as well. So...
Sounds good.
It's just there.
You can find me on Facebook at Leo Connors. I'm going to be making a Ring in All of the Sports Facebook account. Actually, I'm sorry. I actually just did yesterday. I'm not really on Twitter, but I'm on YouTube, Ring in All Other Sports. Excuse me. I'm really looking forward to having a bunch of guests on this show. Some of the guys that I have coming up that will be on will be Dave Donovan, Bo Douglas. Trying to think. I have so many in my head right now. Rita Figueroa, professional boxer out of Chicago. Wait till you hear her story. Amazing, amazing boxer, amazing woman. She's been training guys out of Chicago. A couple of guys had world title fights, and they weren't successful, but that doesn't mean anything, you know? They're working their way up the ladder.
That's right.
So I just want to say thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the show. I want to thank you, Pat, again,
Leo,
for being on the show. I can't wait to come check out UFO Wrestling. Bring the kids, and we'll cover you. We'll cover you as the show, this show goes on. I'll give results from your shows and things like that. Real quick before I end, I just want to mention that my brother passed away on August 14th, and I dedicate this show to him in loving memory of my brother John. John, I love you. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.